Hello and welcome to my first video ever. As you can tell by the title, this is a vlog from when I went to Puerto Peñasco, Mexico. We went for Mother's Day, so we were there to celebrate my grandma, my mom, and just spend some time together. And hopefully you stick around because I got some really cool footage. So I will see you at the end of the video. Hello, VoiceOver K here to kind of explain what some of the footage I got was. So first and foremost, we had to start off very early in the morning. The good thing about this though was that I got to watch the sunrise. But we were on the road at 4 a.m., which means we had to wake up around like 2:30 or 3. We had to pack up our car, stop by my mom's house before we were finally on the road at like 4 in the morning. So it was a super long trip. It takes 7 hours to get there, and then it takes another 7 hours to get back. So it was a super long road trip. But we got to see some desert landscape. This is actually Arizona. It was pretty cool to see all these cacti. They were super tall. When I was little, I actually thought this is what Nevada would look like, but we don't really have cacti like that over here. Anyway, so I had a little Disneyland Castle moment after the long 7-hour drive. We turned a corner and finally there was the United States-Mexico border. So we just drove through. It was pretty easy to get through. They just asked us what we were doing and we were just like, oh, you know, we're chilling for Mother's Day. And the first stop had to be El Oxxo, of course. By this point, a lot of driving and stuff, we had to use the bathroom, and I found this cute little stray doggy. I wanted to take him home with me. And then we did a little bit more driving before we ended up at this masterpiece. By this time we were all starving, so we're having some aguachiles, and I got some footage of this guy cooking it for us. He's actually the restaurant owner, and oh my gosh, I don't eat seafood, but this place was so good. I don't know if it's because the seafood is like fresh or what, but I usually don't eat like shrimp or anything like that, but this is probably the best meal that I've had in my life. And here is the final product. It was so good. And that lemonade was good too. Oh, that lemonade was really good. And my grandma had some tacos, and I had a bite. It was really good. And then we headed to our Airbnb. So this is just kind of like a little view that we had. It was so cute. And oh, there's this super pretty skylight. I love the natural lighting of this house. And then there were these really big stairs. They were kind of scary at first, but over the weekend I kind of got used to them, but they were super steep. And here's like the little living room area of our Airbnb. I love the pottery and like the shelves. I thought it was super cool. And one thing I like about Mexican architecture, I guess, is that a lot of these homes have like this nice little cozy, cute courtyard area. So I really loved that. We sat outside for a little bit one of the days and just chilled, and that's where I was at the beginning of the clip, up there. But then after we dropped everything off, we decided to go to the beach. And this is just like a smaller local beach, and it's actually really cool because this beach, the sand is made up of really fine, broken up seashells. So the sand was a little bit more coarse than like a beach in California or anything that I've been to, but here you can kind of see like it's just made up of broken shells. It's so cool. And of course I had to get a little pina colada, and they made the drink using the pineapple, so I thought that was so awesome. It was really good, really fresh. And then after the beach, we decided to go to this little plaza area. They have like some bandas playing, and they have a bunch of like shops and a bunch of like food trucks and stuff. And it was really nice because we got to watch the sunset here too. The sunset in Mexico is beautiful. And my mom's husband was actually staying on the other side of this little island. You can actually see Tijuana, which was pretty cool, I thought. And fast forward to the next day, we just went home and passed out after that. Here is the same beach that we were at in the first clip, except now the water is like super far back. So they create these like little tide pools, and you get to see all these fun, cute little creatures. Look at this guy. He was looking for some breakfast, and he had some competition too because there were so many seagulls there. But yeah, like I said, this is the same beach that we went to yesterday with like the really coarse sand. And it was just so cool to see all the wildlife and stuff. And it was cool to see how far back the waves went, because when we went yesterday, it was like a normal beach, and now there are all these tide pools. Anyway, we found this little hermit crab. There were a lot of hermit crabs there, but we were able to gain the trust of this one, and he started crawling on our little hands, and it was just so cute to see all the hermit crabs. This was the only one who would show for the camera. And here it's kind of hard to see, but there's a bunch of little fishies, and they're the same color as the sand, so they're really hard to see, but you can see their little shadows moving everywhere, and there were tons of them. I just loved seeing these fish, and I loved how clear the water was too. The water was super clear. Oh, and here's my grandma enjoying her nice peaceful morning on the beach before we get into some craziness later. It was so relaxing here. And here's a regular little crab that we found and picked up. And I just wanted to use this time just to make like a quick PSA. All the wildlife that we found, obviously as soon as we were done like recording these shots, we put them back where we found them. So the little crab went back to his little hole, and the little hermit crab, we put him back under the water. And yeah, we didn't want to like disturb the ecosystems too much. And also, if you're going to the beach, please make sure you throw your trash away. Like, this place is just so beautiful and so relaxing, and I would be really sad if it was just covered in litter. But anyway, on another note, right before we left, we found this poor little squid. He got beat up by a crab who was hungry for breakfast, I guess, and it was kind of sad. But after that, we went to go eat with some more fish, so we had our own little breakfast. So I had some ceviche and some tacos. It was so good. And then after breakfast, we went to a different beach. This was a more touristy area, and so it was super crowded here, and it was really nice though. Actually, the sand was a little bit what I'm more used to, and the water was so warm. And then after that, we had booked a little cruise tour of like to go watch the sunset on a boat. So we got on a boat, kind of looked like this. It was like a party boat. There was a lot of people there, and they played like nice music, and there's a lot of dancing and stuff. And they stopped like kind of in the middle of the ocean, and you just kind of floated, and you got to watch the sunset, and I thought it looked so beautiful. And on our way to the little sunset spot, we had some friends waving us goodbye, and they also let my mom and her husband get on this like slide into the water. So that was pretty cool. Like, looking back at this footage, I wish I would have done it myself. It just looks so fun. And she said the water was really warm here, just kind of like the other beach. So it was nice. It was relaxing. It wasn't too cold like the California beaches. And this was us heading back to the dock after we got some nice footage of that sunset, and it just looks so beautiful here again behind the mountains. And here are our friends welcoming us back to the dock. But after this, we didn't really do much. We just kind of went back to the Airbnb and passed out. And the next morning, we were able to watch the sunrise straight from the bed. So I didn't even have to get up to film this footage. And I swear, you can see the sun moving up. I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I swear you can see the sun slowly starting to go up. But after that, we had to go home, so of course I got one more look at this beautiful view, and then we were back on the road. We had to say goodbye to our little shrimp town, Puerto Peñasco, but it was so much fun. I loved this trip. And on the way to the border, they had like all these little shops that sold like blankets and decor, and there were some food stands, and it was just so fun to see all the bright colors. And here we are, there's the wall. We're crossing the border right here. It was a pretty smooth trip back as well. They just asked us for our passport, and so we showed that. And it was a long drive, like I said, 7 hours. So I took some time and was crocheting a blanket that I've been working on. And here are those Arizona cacti again, just headed back to Las Vegas. Overall, it was like a really fun trip, and we were only there for 3 days, 2 nights, but I wish I could stay longer next time. I had a lot of fun just spending time with my family and exploring a new country, and we had to stop for a potty break. So here is the gas station bathroom. I just thought it looked really cool. And then we also passed a bunch of like cute little towns, so I just love the architecture. I love the change of scenery than, you know, my usual backyard or my commute to work. So yeah, I just have some footage of us going back. It was a long 7 hours. And finally, I just wanted to give a special shout out to all of my friends and supporters and anyone who has encouraged me to start a YouTube channel. This is very special to me just because it is my first video, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the love and support and encouragement. So thank you once again, everybody. You know who you are. And yeah, I had a lot of fun making this video, editing, recording, shooting, and it was definitely a learning experience, but it's something that I want to keep up. So hopefully I will get to see you in the next videos that I make. Yeah, that was my trip to Puerto PEÑASCO. If you made it this far, we are besties now, so thank you so much for sticking around till the end. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more of me, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe down below. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate your time, and hopefully I will get to see you in the next video. Bye!